Hey, welcome to another video of my Soft Life Prep. Today I'm going to be talking about how I'm thinking about family culture slash lifestyle, like what we want it to be like. What do we want the day to day to be like? How are we going to handle problems? Like, what is the approach to problem solving? Yeah, what is life, right? What is the lifestyle going to be? The first point I have is very specific, and it's probably because we had talked about it pretty in depth based on someone else's difficulties with in laws. Like, how do you handle in laws? So I think my boyfriend has a really good understanding of like how people work for a person who understands numbers very, very, very well, right? He's very good at math and thinks, I think, in numbers, metrics, and all of that. He really has a good understanding of people. And his ideas around the woman of the house, he picked a woman that loves cooking, right? He doesn't like to cook. He can cook, but doesn't like to cook. And so he understands that the kitchen is going to be my place. It's really the only place in the home I care about. I also don't care about where we live or like what the house is like. Not that I don't care. It's just like I would like to have some input, but I don't want to make any of those final decisions. I want you to narrow it down, pick certain things, and then say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And really, the only place I'm probably going to like pick at or look at or have notes about is the kitchen. It's the only thing I care. It's really the only thing I care about. So him understanding women and multiple women in a home, like what is that like? Okay, I grew up with sisters. I recently, not recently, maybe 2 years ago, had all of my family stay here with me in my two-bedroom apartment. I don't know what we was thinking. Okay, we've never done anything like that before, but in my mind, I felt like we did. And now that we're all adults, it's just like it's a no-go. So how do we handle in-laws? Probably be something. If they do live with us, they have their own space, including their own kitchen, so that I, as the woman of the home, can have my own space and my own like dominance and authority over my home, because when other women come in or in-laws, we don't have to worry about. His father is in the Congo. My father has mental health issues. Like, he's still not going to be living with us. If anyone lives with us, it would be a mother. And so then what would that be like? How would we handle it? Because I do think it's a beautiful thing to take care of our elders and to take care of our parents. Not an obligation. I definitely discourage like feeling like it's an obligation, but like how are we maybe going to handle something like that if it does happen? My next point is about meals, similar to, what I said before. I am going to be the one responsible for cooking. I love to cook. It's not really going to be an issue for me. You know how people say 50-50? Like, I don't really believe in 50-50. I definitely believe in everybody is bringing their self, like their 100% self, but that there are going to be certain things that he is better at, that he's going to do more of, and there are going to be certain things that I am better at and I do more of. I think that is the modern framework for relationships, that we have conversations, that we make decisions together, that I'm picking a man that I want to be the leader and that I trust to make all decisions, because I don't want to have to deal with decision fatigue. I don't really want to have to make a whole bunch of decisions. I want some input, but I don't really want to have to deal with it at the end of the day. So, like when it comes to meals, I'm going to be the one taking care of that. I think that's another one of those day to day things. Some people can become resentful if they feel like they're the one doing it all the time, if they're the ones responsible for groceries and for all the meals. I also think this is why balance is so important, because I wouldn't be working full time. You understand? I already don't really work full time, but I think it's important, and I probably am saying this in every video, right? Be a wife before you're a wife. Before you get married, you are embodying like that mentality of being in relationship with somebody else, partnering with somebody else. What are some things that would change when you all live together? All of that. And one of those things is there's no way I can be responsible for 100% of all the meals this man have to eat, right? You don't eat a lot. He eats like one big meal a day. But anyway, I'm going to be the one responsible, right? There's no way I can work a full-time job and then have basically a chef's role, like you have a live-in chef, and you never take any of that responsibility. I don't see how I could work full time and do that. So this is why I think it's important to reflect on like, what do you really want your relationship to look like? What do you want to be like? And this is no guarantee that this is what our relationship will always be like, right? This is also a person that doesn't have any problem ordering takeout or going to a restaurant or buying food, right? He can do those things like very, very easily. So if it was a time when, I couldn't cook or I didn't want to cook, I didn't feel like cooking, it's something that he can easily, pick up on. He's done it already, right? I've seen that he's done it already. So it's not like it wouldn't be done once we're married and living together. My next point is about free time slash vacation. What are y'all doing during your free time, right? What do you want your life to be, right? And I love to stress, like, life is lived in the day to day. I want my husband to come home every night unless he's like working out of town, and I really wouldn't pick a man who works like obscene hours or is out of town a lot. I like my man. I like sleeping next to my man, right? And I don't get to do that every night. Not we don't live together. But once I'm married, I want to be there with my man, and I think he wants to be there with me. Okay, and so if this is the values that I've picked in a man, then I would expect that he's home every night, that we have dinner at a certain time, that we enjoy vacationing a certain way. Like, I've also said on my channel, like, you don't have to want to travel with me, but you can't be mad if I travel, right? Like, if I want to solo travel, you can't be mad that I want to go somewhere new if you don't want to go somewhere. Okay, I picked a man that likes to international travel, so that's not gonna be an issue. The way he likes to travel, I think we haven't traveled together yet. This is an ongoing topic for us. We haven't traveled together yet, and so I'm curious about like the ways in which he travels. But one of my favorite things about traveling, the way I book solo travel, is everything is set beforehand. I know what time I need to be in the lobby for them people to pick me up. I know where I'm going here, there. This is my itinerary for the day. I love that. Being with a man who likes to plan things or go on the whim of things, who figures out things as they go. Like, I imagine, I don't know yet, so I might come back and say something different. But I imagine that traveling with him would be so enjoyable because I'm just gonna show up. Okay. What did you say? Okay, beach, this, that. Okay, I'm gonna pack these things. All right, where we going? What are we doing? Okay. And whatever he picked, I'm sure I'm going to be fine with, because just the act of not having to be the one to do it. I don't know, to plan it. I'm just gonna be like, whatever you, where else you want to go? Okay, let's go. Right. And it's just gonna be a very easy time. Another big one that I wanted to include, even though we're not really planning to have kids, we might, but right as of now, we're not planning to have any kids. But I'm open to it, and I don't know. Maybe he might change his mind. I don't know. It's not a hard no for me. Before I got in this relationship, I was definitely on the fence, and like, maybe I won't. Like, maybe I'll foster, maybe I'll just mentor, something like that. But he doesn't want any kids, and so that's perfectly fine with me too. Okay, I have access to kids, which is all I need. Just little people to like pour love into, which is something that's very, very important to me. I don't have to have my own kid. Well, I don't have to have another. I already have one. So if I didn't have one, I'd probably be more concerned. Like, no, 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 we have to at least have one. But that's not a concern. But conversation about how you want to raise kids, and this can be one of those big disagreement parts. But I think if you have similar values, then it's likely that you all are going to agree on a lot of things on how to raise kids, right? Whether they go to daycare or not, whether they go to private school or not, whether they're allowed to solve some of their own problems, whether they're coddled or not, what are their names going to be. Like, there's so many conversation topics to go under, that I think is super important in preparing to be a wife, like preparing to be somebody's partner and to raise kids together. It's one of the, I think, the hardest things outside of your marriage, and like being committed to another person for years and years and years and years and years. You're saying like forever once you get married. Many people don't make it, but that's the intention. The intention is to work it out, to problem solve together, to have fun, to laugh, to relax, all those things together. I think raising kids is the second hardest thing to do. And so just something to have a conversation about. We're not, right? We talked about whether we were going to have kids or not. What would it be like? He's a person that would think ahead to like school districts and stuff like that. Like, where do you guys want to live? Whether you want to send them to public school or not, like, what would that be like? How are you going to handle, who's going to handle most of the pickups? Who's going to handle homework and stuff like that? And like, we had talked about, if it was math, we play around, right? We're just dreaming. We're just talking that he would probably be like the math person and, the sports person because he's obsessed with soccer, that kind of thing. It's just fun to think about. And I think it's fun to talk about and to really know that your partner and what the lifestyle is going to be like. What are our family values, that kind of thing, so that you know what the approach to problem solving is going to be. I just think it's so important just to keep asking questions and keep getting to know your partner, because even if you guys have been together 20 years, there is something new to learn, because just like you, they are ever evolving and new things are happening for them as well. And so I'm excited to share about like what I am intentioning for our family culture and our lifestyle. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel for the rest of these videos, and thank you for watching.